So how did you get into Buddhism or Buddhist? What is it, Buddhism? How did you get into that from your roots?
It was well, I've got 4 sisters, and I'm the only boy of 4, and I've got one older, and as I said, I've been a bit of a wide boy in my early years, and I was known for being a bad boy. So my sisters have been chanting Buddhist since for about 23 years. They were doing it when I was in my heyday of bad boyism. And they were the ones that used to chant for me to come and join at 7 o'clock every Monday. And whether they were in different countries, they would sync up. And then just one day, I eventually went over to them. I mean, and when they first started, I look at them like they were weirdos. People used to come around the house to pray with them. I throw them out. I mean, but then it just happened, and they just said, "Yeah, we've been waiting for." So my sisters, they're my guardians. They looked out for me. If I have any success, any achievement in life, it's really because of them.
When you look at your journey, and you look at a lot of the youngsters out there that are pretty much, they're not really aspiring to be anything. It seems like the road, the streets is all they want to be a part of. Would you recommend Buddhism for them, do you think? Or have you got to find it when you find it?
Well, I mean, the seed, when it's planted, it will blossom in a person when it's ready. I think you can seek it. There are some people that have that seeking spirit, but it's crucial in life to have a faith, and more crucial in a environment such as entertainment, where it's shallow and there's very many temptations. You need to be solid. You know what I mean? Because you're going to get pulled, and you see them. They take drugs and they're dead and they're young. That's the spiritual foundation's solid. And I would say, before anything, sort that out, because from that is what stems your creativity. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think Buddhism for me is the. I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't, because what it does, I started to get very jaded and negative and bitter, because the institutionalized racism, the way they don't give black people the best role. You can take that as a negative way, but because of my chanting, I'm able to just get on with it and make the best of whatever situation I can. But also, I took another route as well. I started writing, and I wrote a script which I'm going to direct this year.
Your life story, yeah?
Yeah,
right.
It's going to be based here. So,
can I be in it?
Yeah, man. This is about our story, about how we came up.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
That's good, man. You can, because it's a pioneering story, and I want the process to be. Meaning, I want original people in it. I don't want to just go for industry. Sure, I'll put a few, but I want to bring in new talent, because I remember when I was growing up, there was just no access, and it's no secret. There's not, there are many professions that are shrouded in elitism. Acting has been regarded for that. It's been regarded as a middle class occupation, really. You know what I mean? It's not something, where I grew up, you were considered a homosexual if you thought about being. And what I want to show people is we, as especially black people, we are the talent of this universe. Any black person that is dedicated and puts their self to the task just does tenfold than any other individual. You can look at the Williams sisters, you can look at Tiger Woods, and you can go right up to Obama. Anytime we dedicate ourselves to a task, we excel beyond.
I think that attitude that we can excel beyond normal is lacking in this country, especially amongst maybe some of the disaffected youth. Why is that happening so regularly?
I think it's a matter of a cultural identity crisis. People are not aware of who they are. I think there's been a consistent, systematic kind of almost like a propagation of self-hatred. We were colonialized, many of us, from the West Indies, from Africa. And so we have this feel of second-class citizens, that we're not valued, we're not worthy. We have that instilled, even if you're not conscious of it, it's there. When you come out of your house every day, subconsciously you're checking, because you've got a force field, because you're looking at, oh, I'm a big black guy. Is this white guy gonna be? You're already thinking that. So right away it's taking away from your natural essence. Now, when you go to Africa, for instance, there are problems galore. But the one problem you don't have is that problem, or is there a white man checking you? Well, first time I went home, I exhaled. I was like, oh man, what's that? I just feel, you know what I mean? I was saying, I just feel like, you know, and she said, let's go freedom. And that's, I've never.
So it is home. You do. I mean, as much as you're a North London Cockney,
It's run by black people, whether they're screwing it up or not. It's ours, and it's home. So I would say, if you say to me, what is the problem? It's one of faith, because you need that, but I think it's one of an identity. We haven't really established. It's been constantly assassinated since the colonial days, and we are always trying to reaffirm who we are. And until we do that, like America's had its revolution. You know, the civil rights, they've told them to F off, this is who we are and we're doing it. That's why they got a president. We in Europe, and particularly in Britain, need to start doing it. And we're doing it slowly, you know what I mean? But, and that's what I'm here to tell. That's why I'm directing my film here, to bring in new talent here so that we can generate, you know, our own BET. We don't have to depend on the system. And I would say to the youth, if I was to go 20 years back and say, okay, what would I have done different? I would have done it myself then. I'd have picked up a camera, I'd have got my mates together, I'd have written something, and I'd have shot it. Because that's all it is. That's all they're doing, and that's it. So I'll say, just do it. Don't wait for anybody else. Don't listen to someone saying you can't. Just do it, because that's it.
That's funny. My next question and my penultimate question was gonna be, if you were to give advice to any aspiring film types, wannabe actors, people that just generally want to get in the game, maybe what would be your top 3 tips? I'm assuming that would be one of them.
Well, yeah, that would be my paramount one. I would say always believe in yourself first. You know what I mean? I mean, you can literally, as we have here, a camera right here, you can tell a story yourself, you know? And I think what's great about the youths doing that themselves, like for instance, kidulthoods, those, you know, you won't hear that voice unless it's one of us saying it, because no one else can tell our story like ourselves. So I would say that would be the paramount one. And then the other one is, you know, I'll just say, look, the one thing that education gave me is a discipline, and a lot of artists lack that. Now, you got to be a businessman as well as an artist. You have to approach it like a business. You can't be like, I'm an artist, and be slack on that. You got to be on point.
Just as important, right?
Yeah, and by that, you do your research, you know your market, you know where you want to enter, and you say, right, if I want to be, do I want to be a movie star? You know, hitting one note all through my career and becoming a big box office guy? That's a different course. Do I want to be an actor who disappears into different characters? There's different routes to different career types. You do your research and go out and do it. And if you don't get the opportunities here, either create them yourself or get up and go where you can find them, which is what I did. I wasn't going to just be put down in London and just be told no or get an extra part on the bill. I'm going to go to Hollywood or somewhere else, you know, whether it's Australia, and get a jump off there. You know what I mean? Just get it where you can, but don't stop, believe in yourself, and most importantly, do it.